स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवान्वितं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्यदि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे. So we'll start with the next chapter of Nectar of Devotion, devotional qualification. Some scholars recommend that knowledge and renunciation are important factors for elevating oneself to devotional service. But actually, that is not a fact. Actually, the cultivation of knowledge or renunciation, which are favorable for achieving a footing in Krishna consciousness, may be accepted as a beginning, but ultimately, they may also come to be rejected. For devotional service is dependent on nothing other than the sentiment or a desire for such a service. It requires nothing more than sincerity. In the opinion of expert devotees, that mental speculation and artificial austerities of yoga practice may be favorable for becoming liberated from material contamination, but they will be also make one's heart harder and harder. They also not help at all in the progress of devotional service. These processes are therefore not favorable for entering into the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Actually, Krishna consciousness, devotional activity itself is the only way of advancing in devotional service. किंतु ज्ञान विरक्त्यादि साध्यम भक्तैव सिद्ध्यति तस्मान् मद भक्ति युक्तस्य त्यागिनो वे मदात्मनः न ज्ञानम न च वैराग्यम प्रायः श्रेयो भवेदिह. Actually, Krishna consciousness, devotional service itself is the only way of advancing in devotional service. यत् कर्म अभि यत् तपसः ज्ञान वैराग्यश्च यत् योगेन दान धर्मेण श्रेयोभिर अतिरपि इतरेरपि सर्व मद भक्ति योगेन मद भक्तो लभते अन्यसा स्वर्ग अपवर्ग मद धाम कथंचित अधिवांछितः. Devotional service is absolute. It is both the cause and effect. The supreme personality of a Godhead is the cause and effect of all that being, and to approach Him, the absolute, the process of devotional service, which is also absolute, has to be adopted. Nothing else, not jnana or vairagya, but bhakti is the cause of bhakti, nothing else. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita by the Lord Himself. One can understand me only through devotional service. In the beginning, his teaching of Bhagavad Gita, the Lord said to Arjuna, "Because you are my devotee, I shall teach this secret to you." Vedic knowledge means ultimately to understand the Supreme Lord, and the process of entering into his kingdom is devotional service. That is accepted by all authentic scriptures. Mental speculators neglect the process of devotional service, and by simply trying to defeat others in philosophical research, they fail to develop the ecstasy of devotional service. So that we need to understand what's the real difference between Hari Bhakti and Karma and Jnana. It's not that by Jnana you can go to Bhakti. So here, these are nice quotations actually from in the 11th canto of 20th chapter, text number 31. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says, Tasman mada bhakti yuktasya yogino vai mada atmanaha na jnanam na cha vairagyam prayaha shreyo bhaveti. Therefore, a devotee engaged in my doing service with mind fixed on me, the cultivation of a knowledge and renunciation is generally not the means of achieving highest perfection within the world. So that's it here. Tasman bhakti yuktasya त्यागिनो ये मदात्मनः न ज्ञानं न च वैराग्यं प्रायः श्रेयो भवेत् किंतु ज्ञान विरक्त आदि साध्यम भक्तैव सिद्ध्यते. This jnana and vairagya, that is the byproduct of devotional service. In the 32 and 33 verse of 11th canto 20th chapter, again Lord further instructs to Uddhava, my dear friend, the prophets derived from fruitive activities, austerities, the culture of philosophical knowledge, renunciation, and the practice of mystic yoga, charity, all similar auspicious activities are automatically achieved by devotees. Those who are simply attached to me by loving service. These devotees have everything at their disposal, but they desire nothing outside of my devotional service. If ever a devotee should desire some material profit, like promotion to heavenly planets or some spiritual profit to go to Vaikuntha, by my causeless mercy, his desire are very easily. Yat karma
Understood,
abhiyat.
Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Jnana vaira yat yogena yogena dana dharmena shreyo abhiratyerapi. सर्वं भक्ति योगेन मद्भक्तो लभते अंजसा स्वपा स्वर्ग अपवर्ग मद्धाम कंचित इत्यादि वांछिता. Whatever they desire, he says, I fulfill their desires. Actually, a person who is developing Krishna consciousness and still has some attachment to material enjoyment will soon be freed from such a tendencies by regularly discharging devotional service under the instructions of a bona fide spiritual master. And Srila Rupa Goswami then recommends that one should not be attached to material sense enjoyment, but should accept everything enjoyable which is in relationship to Krishna. For example, eating is necessary, and one wants some palatable dishes to satisfy his senses or of a taste. Some in that case, For the satisfaction of Krishna rather than for the satisfaction of the tongue, some palatable dishes may be prepared and offered to Krishna. Then it is renunciation. Let the palatable dishes be prepared, but unless they are offered to Krishna, one should not accept them for eating. This vow of rejecting anything which is not offered to Krishna is actually renunciation. And by such a renunciation, one is able to satisfy the demands of senses. The impersonalists who try to avoid everything materially may undergo severe austerities, but they miss the opportunity of being engaged in the service of the Lord. Thus, their renunciation is not sufficient for perfection. Jnana and Vairagya. What are these impersonalists they have? Because not related with the Lord. It's for their own satisfaction of ego that, oh, I'm so austere, I can just overrule these things. That will not bring a devotion in their heart. There are many instances where following such artificial renunciation without any contact with the devotional service, the impersonalist again fell down and became attracted to material contamination. There are many supposed renunciers, even at the present moment of officially become sannyasi or renouncer, and outwardly claim that spiritual existence is truth and material existence is untruth. In this way, artificially, they make a show of renunciation of the material world. However, because they cannot reach the point of devotional service, they fail to achieve the goal and they again come back to the material activities, such as the philanthropic work and political agitation. There are many examples of so-called sannyasis to give up the world as the untruth, but again came to material world because they are not seeking their real repose at the lotus feet of the Lord. The whole thing is explained here. रुचिम उद्वहस्ततत्रस्य जनस्य भजने हरेः विषयेषु गरिष्ठोऽपि रागप्रयो विलीयते अनासक्तस्य विषयान् यथा अर्हम् उपयुञ्जतः निर्बन्ध कृष्ण संबंधे युक्त वैराग्यमुच्यते प्रापंचिकतया बुद्ध्या हरि संबंधे वस्तुतः मुमुक्षुभिः परित्यागो वैराग्यं फल्गु कथ्यते प्रोक्तेन लक्षणेनैव भक्तेरधिकृतस्य च अंगत्वेन स्वनिरस्तेऽपि नित्या अखिल कर्मणा ज्ञानं स्यात् आध्यात्मिकस्यापि वैराग्यस्य च फल्गुनम्. So that's what it is said. This is Falgu Vairagya, the useless Vairagya. One may have taken sannyas, but that's of no use because it's not for seeking the real purpose of life. Spashtatham punarapi tadevan nirakritam घनशिष्यादिभिर्द्वार्यायै भक्तिरुपाद्यते विदुरत्वाद् तत्महन्या तस्यश्च नांगता विशेषेण त्वम् एवेषां संश्रयत अत्याधिकारिणा विवेकादि अन्यतो अमिषाम अपि नागत्वमुच्यते कृष्णोन्मुख स्वयं यान्ति यमा शौचदयस्ततः इत्येषां चनयुक्ता या स्यात् भक्त्या अंतरंग पतिता. So they fall down. One should not give up anything which can be utilized in the service of the Lord. That is the secret of devotional service. Anything that can be utilized in advancing Krishna consciousness and devotional service should be accepted. For instance, we are using many machines for the advancement of our present Krishna conscious movement. Machines like typewriters, dictating machines, tape recorders, microphones, and airplanes. Sometimes people ask us, why are you utilizing material products if you condemn the advancement of material civilization? But actually, we do not condemn. We simply ask people to do whatever they are doing in Krishna consciousness for the sake of Krishna. That is Yukta Vairagya. Because anyhow, being in this material world, you can't give it up. but you can use it for the service of Krishna, which can termed as a Yukta Vairagya. So this is the same principle on which in Bhagavad Gita Krishna advised Arjuna to utilize his fighting abilities in devotional service. Similarly, we are utilizing these machines for Krishna's service. With such a sentiment for Krishna or Krishna consciousness, we can accept everything. If the typewriter can be utilized for advancing our Krishna conscious movement, we must accept it. Similarly, the dictating machine or any other machine must be used. Our vision is that Krishna is everything. Krishna is the cause and effect, and nothing belongs to us. Krishna's things must be used in the service of Krishna. That is our vision. So the clear vision of this Gaudiya Sampradaya has given here by Prabhupada. Krishna is cause and effect. So everything belongs to Krishna, and that should be used for Krishna's service. That's the some sublime vision, actually. Very simply, we can understand. This does not mean, however, that we should give up the principles of discharging devotional service or neglecting abiding by the rules and regulations as prescribed herein. In the neophyte stage of devotion, one must follow all the principles regulated by the authority of the spiritual master. The acceptance and rejection of things should always be in pursuance of the devotional principles. Not that one can independently manufacture his own idea of what to be accepted and what to be rejected. The spiritual master as the visible manifestation of Krishna is necessary, therefore, to direct the devotee on behalf of Supreme Personality of a Godhead. That's why we need spiritual master, who can, on behalf of Krishna, visibly tell us that what we should do specifically in the service of Krishna. Further, Prabhupada says the spiritual master never be carried away by an accumulation of wealth or a large number of followers. A bona fide spiritual master will never become like that. He is not a very high grade of a devotional service. If a person carried away by such achievements, then his devotional service becomes slackened. One should therefore strictly adhere to the principles of disciplic succession. A Krishna conscious person, being naturally purified, has no need of developing any other purificatory process of thought or action. On account of his being highly elevated in Krishna consciousness, he has already acquired all the good qualities and is following the rules and regulations prescribed for the mystic yogic process. Such rules are automatically practiced by the devotees. अंतःशुद्धि बहिर्शुद्धि तपशांति आदयस्ततः अमी गुणः प्रपद्यन्ते हरि सेवाभि कामिनम. So where does Hari Seva engage in the devotional service? No need for them to do so many things for Antashuddhi, Bahirshuddhi or Tapa. Just by sincerely rendering service, he can achieve everything what can be achieved by the other process of yoga system. A concrete example is the quality of non-violence, which is considered a good qualification. A devotee is naturally non-violent and therefore does not have to practice non-violence separately. Some people seek purification by joining a vegetarian movement, but a devotee is automatically a vegetarian. He doesn't need to practice separately in this matter or to join the society of vegetarians. He is automatically a vegetarian. See, Prabhupada he is giving his purport depending upon the present situation. 50 years back, he has wrote down all these things. And now can understand that people are coming back to that vegetarianism, this, veganism, this and that. He was knowing that people will try to seek happiness in different ways. They will try out all the possibilities. But all those things are already there in Krishna consciousness. Buddhists, they claim they are the ahimsa, they follow the principle of ahimsa. And you can see what they eat. Someone who is a meat eater, how he can be a non-violent? Huh? So for devotees, no need to join all that sort of a movements, vegetarianism or veganism. These are not meant for us. If you are a devotee, automatically you will eat what you have offered to the Lord. And Lord has said, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. He never said Andam Masam. He never said that thing. So if you are a devotee, it means you are having all the good qualities that are there with the demigods. So there are many other instances showing that a devotee needn't practice anything but Krishna consciousness. All the good qualities of the demigods automatically develop within him. Those who are intentionally practicing to be vegetarianism or to become non-violent may have good qualification by the material estimation, but this qualification are not sufficient to make them devotees. Again, your question is answered here. Why such good people are not getting attracted to Krishna consciousness? A vegetarian is not necessarily devotee, nor is a non-violent person. But a devotee is automatically both vegetarian and non-violent. We must conclude, therefore, that the vegetarianism and non-violence is not the cause of devotion. These are the byproducts of devotion. In this connection, there is a story in Skanda Purana about a hunter who was converted into a great devotee under the instruction of Narada Muni. When the hunter became a perfect devotee, he was not prepared to kill even an ant. Parvata Muni, a friend of Narada, saw the wonderful transformation of the hunter by devotional service and remarked, "My dear hunter, your willingness to kill even your unwillingness to kill even an ant is not very astonishing. Any person who develops the devotional attitude has all the qualities automatically manifested in his person. A devotee is never a cause of distress to anyone." एते नयद्भुताः व्याधा तव अहिंसादयो गुणः हरिभक्तौ प्रवृत्ताये नते स्यु परतापिनः. It's not a big deal. If you are a Haribhakta, means you will not cause pain to other or distress to other. Rupa Goswami affirms herein that purification of consciousness, purification of bodily activities, austerities, peace of mind, etc., all become automatically manifested in the person who is engaged in devotional service. Antashuddhi, Bahirshuddhi, Stapa, Shanti, Adayastataha, Amiguna Prapadyante, Hari Seva Bhi Kamina. All these good qualities that comes to him. No need to desire for or work separately for that. Then further, Srila Rupa Goswami affirms that there are 9 different kinds of devotional service which are listed as hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, worshipping the deity in the temple, praying, carrying out orders, serving Krishna as a friend, and sacrificing everything for him. Each and every one of this process is so powerful that if anyone follows even one single of them, he can achieve the desired perfection without fail. सा भक्तिरेक मुख्य अंगाश्रितानैक अंगिका अथवा स्व वासनानुसारेण निष्ठः सिद्धिकृत भवेत्. He said that Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasem Arjanam Dhanam Sakyam Dasyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsarpito Bhaktir Bhaktishe Navalakshana. This 9 kind of devotional service can be offered to the Supreme Personality of a Godhead by human being. So which kind of, he says, these are 9 angas, but even one of them, Swa Vasana Anusarena, according to your own desire, with a full nishtha, if you practice one anga, then you get the whole perfection. Then he gives wonderful example here. And what is that example? He quotes, Shri Vishnu Shravane Parikshit Vaiyasaki Kirtane Prahlad Smarane Tana Angri Pujane Lakshmi Prathu Pujane Akrurastava Vivandane Kapipati Dase Athasakhe Arjunaha Sarva Sarvatmanivedena Valir Abhuta Krishna Praptir Esham Param Sri Vishnu Shravane Parikshit Bhava Vaiyasaki Kirtane Prahlad Smarane Tada Angri Bhajane Lakshmi Prathu Pujane Akrurasvat Abhivandane Kapipatir Dase Atasakhe Arjunaha Sarvaswatmanivedane Balibhur Abhuta Krishna Papti Rayesham.
Which
For
verse is this,
example,
Prabhuji?
if one is
Verse number
verse
yeah, verse number
58.
58 from okay.
It's 58 of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. After that, 58, you can say 59, 58 verse. After that, only in the quotation that verse is there. Oh, you are looking in that, that there may be a,
yeah, the PDF. Yeah.
okay, that may be different. Let me see what is there. This is the nice verse actually.
Mm.
Yeah, just 1 minute. It's here. Hmm. 49, 51. So 50. Oh, you have to go further. Where it starts. Yeah. Which page are you
I'm on
in? Go to the
page 1 to
go to the
page
page number 15, 15.
1
And
5.
verse 265. Are you there at page 15? Got it?
No,
That's
Prabhuji.
verse number 265,
I'll find it later, Prabhuji.
page number 15. You write it down and
Hmm.
make it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So there, for example, if one is attached simply to hearing about the Lord and another is attached to chanting the glories of the name, both will achieve their desired goal in devotional service. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this has been explained. One may execute 1, 2, 3, or all the different process of devotional service. And at the ultimate end, he will achieve the desired goal of being established in devotional service. There are a concrete example how a devotee discharge one of these services and achieve perfection. So here, Sri Vishnoho Shravane Parikshit. King Parikshit achieved the desired goal of a living life simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Vaiyasaki Kirtane. Shukdev Goswami achieved the desired goal of life simply by reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. Prahlad Smarane. Prahlad Maharaj became successful in his devotional service by always remembering Krishna. Tad Anghri Bhajane Lakshmi. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, was successful by engaging herself in massaging the lotus feet of the Lord. King Prithu became successful by worshipping in the temple. Akrura Avivadane. Akrura became successful by offering prayers. Kapipatir Dasya Athaha. Kapipati means Hanumanji. Became successful by rendering devotional service to the Lord Ramachandra. Sakhe Arjuna. Arjuna became successful by being a friend of their Lordship. Sarva Sarvatma Nivedane Balir. And Bali Maharaj became successful simply by offering all his possessions to Krishna. And there is an example of a devotee who has discharged all the different items together. In 9th canto, 4th chapter, verses 18, 19, 20. There is a statement about Maharaj Ambarish. It is explained that Shukdev Goswami says he is the one who performed all these 9 limbs of bhakti, Navada bhakti. He did it. And how he did that? So it is explained here. Savai mana Krishna padar vindayo vachansi vaikundha gunar karor harir mandiramaarjanadrisho shrutim chakarat achyuta satakathodaye Mukundalingalaya darshanam dishayo tadbhaktagatrasvarasheyam vasangamam घ्राणं च तत्पादसरोज सौरभे श्रीमत् तुलस्यारसनां तदर्पिते श्रीमत् तुलस्यां रसनात् तदो अर्पिते आदौ हरे क्षेत्र सर्पदानुसर्पणे Shiro Rushikesha Padavivantan Kamam Chadasye Natu Kama Kamya Yatha Uttama Shloka Janashrayaratihi. King Ambarisha first of all concentrated his mind on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Savai Manah Krishna Padara Vindayo. And then Vachansi Vaikuntha Gunanuvartani. then engaged his speech in describing the pastimes and the activities of the Lord. Karo tada hariya, karo tada mandira marjanadisha. Engaged his hands in washing the temple of their Lordship. Shrutaucha Sat Katha, engaged his ears in hearing the transcendental glories of the Lord. Engaged his eyes in seeing the beautiful deity. Tadalangalaya darshanam. He engaged his body is associating with the pure devotees of the Lord. Tadgatra sparsha sangame. And further, Padav Harir Kshetra Pradhanu Sarpani. He engaged, oh, Ranav Chatatpada Saroja Saumya. He engaged the nostril in smelling the flowers of Tulsi offered to the Krishna and engaged his tongue in tasting the Krishna Prasad. Maharaj Ambarish was able to offer very nice prasad to Krishna because he was a king and had no scarcity of finances. He used to offer Krishna the most royal dishes and would then test the remnants as Krishna Prasad. There are no scarcity in his royal style because he had a very beautiful temple wherein the deity of the Lord was decorated with a costly paraphernalia and offered high grade food. So everything was available, and his engagement was always completely in Krishna consciousness. The idea is that we should follow in the footsteps of great devotees. If we are unable to execute all the different items of devotional service, we must try to execute at least one of them, as exemplified by the previous Acharya. If we are engaged in the execution of all the items of devotional service as Maharaj Ambarish, then the perfection of devotional service is guaranteed from each one of these items. With the first complete engagement, one becomes automatically detached from material contamination. And liberation becomes the maid servant for the devotee. This idea is confirmed by Bilvamangal Thakur. If one develops unalloyed devotion to the Lord, liberation will follow the devotee as his maid servant. Srila Rupa Goswami says that the regulative principle of devotional service are sometimes described by the authorities as the path to serve the Lord in opulence. Where is that? Chapter 11, 12, 13, and we are at 14. Hmm. Yeah. So here, Shastroktaya Prabalya Tat Maryada Yanvitaha Vaidhi Bhakti Iyam Kaishan Maryada Marga Uchate. So this is what the Vaidhi Bhakti that has explained till now. So now the spontaneous devotional service will start. So do you have any question regarding whatever we have read just now?
No, Prabhuji.
If not, then we can go for the next one. And I think we'll just continue in our next session now. This session is going to end. Okay. So next
brother.
will 15th chapter.